I'm Bennett.
I'm Harry. We are here. I am in Australia right now visiting my in-laws. So if my audio is effed up during this recording, that is why. But we are here. We made it. We're here to talk about all things Red Sox.
Yeah, which is funny because there's a lot to there's a lot to vent about. There's not a lot that actually
Yeah,
happened.
I think
Um,
there's a lot of Red Sox to talk about that isn't actually related to the Red Sox. It's more like what could have happened and didn't, as opposed to like what has actually happened.
yeah, so the winter meetings were this week, and I think the two bats the Red Sox were really targeting, which were Kyle Schwarber and Pete Alonso, both didn't come to us. The Kyle Schwarber went back to the Phillies, which is like kind of expected, and Pete Alonso
Yeah,
went to the Orioles, which sucks.
that's a
Um,
shock.
yeah. Uh, and he went for like 5 years, 155 million. And the Red Sox basically, made a couple minor trades here and there, but didn't sign anybody new. Um, it was kind of weird because Craig Breslow was really talking up a big game beforehand. And last year at the winter meetings was when we got Crochet. So it was like, I
hmm
think expectations were pretty high. And I think a lot of people ended up being pretty disappointed.
Yeah, I think the Pete Alonso thing is a huge. That's going to be a major talking point today for us, because I think, unfortunately, in my mind, the two likely outcomes for him were Red Sox or go back to the Mets. And he went to a division rival who had a down year. A little bit strange. I want to talk with you about the Orioles briefly because I don't really know what the hell they're doing. I don't understand why. I mean, listen, if a bat like Pete Alonso is available on the open market, you go get it. And I don't think they overpaid for him. I think it was a good contract. It's 150 million for 5 years, if I'm not
Oh,
mistaken. So that's,
I totally disagree.
you think it's an overpay?
I think it's a huge overpay.
He's not a good defender at all. So
He's
he's
not
going to
a.
end up being a DH.
I have a feeling that last season which was great for him, is more of an outlier
Okay.
than what like his future will actually be. I mean, because like yeah, I guess like you look at 2024 and he's hitting 240, and the year before that he's hitting 217.
hmm
Um, like his he's like not a great base runner. He's he'll hit 35 home runs like for sure. He will hit all those home runs and he'll drive in all those runs, but he like his ability to do anything else is going to like just continue to diminish over time. And I feel like for $31 million a year, that's kind of crazy.
hmm
Especially when you have like Henderson is gonna hit free agency, I think in like 3 years.
hmm
Baltimore is gonna need to pay him, and like I'd rather, if I'm an Orioles fan, I'd rather they spend money there than give Pete Alonso like, I think like 5 years. The fact that it's 5 years with no opt outs and no options is, I think, like what makes it really strange because it's like there's no way out of this contract now. They're stuck with.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't. I mean, it's like not like it's no Anthony Rendon, contract, but it's not a.
No, he'll be productive.
It's just like not. I don't. I think I'm bummed that Pete Alonso isn't in Boston, but also if I were in the room with Craig Breslow and someone came in and was like, "Hey, Orioles are offering him 5 years, 155. Like, what do you want to counter?" I would say, let's not. Like either let's
hmm
like do 3 years at a higher AAV, a higher average annual value, but we're not going to do a 5 year 30, like we're not going to do a contract where it's 5 years for $30 million each year. Like that's not the right move.
hmm Yeah, I think like what we actually offered him, I think, was a pretty decent contract. I believe it was 85 for 3, which is like 27 million a
Hmm.
year, right? So I'm not like,
Yeah.
Red Sox Nation has a tendency to be very reactive online on
Oh
social
my God.
media.
Yeah.
And so, I stay off Twitter during the winter meetings, unless something happens. Like, obviously, when we signed Crochet last year, I was all over it because it was exciting. But I don't think, people are like, oh my God, we're cheapskates, we underpaid. And, like, I do think there's been some reports coming out. I think June Lee is the guy who reported that like the Red Sox aren't viewed as a big market team anymore, which is not unsurprising, but also I think it's a weird situation because being a quote unquote big market team doesn't always work out. Like obviously the Dodgers have worked out, but like the Mets didn't even make the playoffs. You know, we had a better season in all statistical metrics, wins, you know, and we made the playoffs and they didn't, and we spent half the amount of money they did. So
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think being a big market team is like as coveted as it should be, or vice versa. It's over coveted, but I don't think what we offered Pete Alonso was bad. The interesting thing about the Orioles is I actually weirdly think this makes the Orioles less of a rival to us because the Orioles need pitching.
Yeah.
Offensive production isn't a huge problem for the Orioles. Like, I don't, I mean, you mentioned Gunnar Henderson. I do think Jackson Holliday is going to become a good player. I don't think he'll maybe have that MVP ceiling that we thought he had, but I think he's going to become a above league average player. I think, what's his name? Mountcastle was always capable of hitting the ball out of the ballpark. I think Alonso is going to add a lot. They got Taylor Ward, that's going to add a lot. There's two guys that are going to hit a combined 70 home runs. But who's their fucking starting pitching? I'm not worried. When I see the Orioles on the schedule, I'm like, all right, well, they'll probably score 6 runs and we'll score 12, so who cares? Like, I don't fear the Orioles anymore with these two bats. If in fact, if anything, I feel like losing the pitcher that they sent, Grayson, what's his
Rodriguez,
last
yeah.
name? Rodriguez. If anything, losing him is more. It makes them less of a threat. You know.
Yeah, I see that. I mean, like they're definitely I mean, Taylor Ward and Alonso both had 100 plus RBI last year. And
Mm-hmm.
I think to me that is like very scary in terms of their run production. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I mean, their rotation is definitely bad. I can see a situation where the MO from the Baltimore front office is let's have a front half of the season where we are the goal is to just outscore uh the like just to outscore opponents to just drive in more runs than we allow and really maximize like run production by adding two huge bats and then like
Mm-hmm.
in at the trade deadline we will like go in get some pitching and like try to stop the bleed from there. I don't know, that feels like a really flawed strategy. I really
I
don't
agree.
I really don't know what their plan is. There's still there's still free agent pitchers on the market. I mean, if they go and they pick up like Suarez, they go to pick up
I don't think they will, though. I don't think they will. I don't think the. I truly don't believe they have that dog in them. I really don't. I think they did their move, and they're going to be like, "Look, we did it. We're good now." Like, I genuinely think that that's it for
I
them.
don't know. They traded for Corbin Burns a couple of years ago. Like they're
They did.
if they go like and get like if they go and trade for like Freddie Peralta, then it's like okay, yeah, now I'm scared. Um,
Yeah, for sure.
by
For
the way,
sure.
the Blue Jays just added Tyler Rogers.
Oh,
Yeah,
huh. Wow,
to a
the Blue
three.
Jays are doing. Blue Jays are doing stuff, man.
Blue Jays are who I'm scared of the most.
Yeah, me too. I mean, they
They're
already made the World Series, and I think they're a
yeah,
better team. Even if they lose Bichette, they're a better team.
yeah, I think for sure. But anyway, going I mean back to the Sox, like there is still time. I mean, there's still like it's like
Totally.
50 like 58 days
Yeah.
until pitchers and catchers report. So there is time to do stuff. I'm just wondering like what the options are for the Sox and what I mean, a lot of it's trades. There're not a lot of free agent options other than Bichette, and I don't like that
Hmm.
option. But there are a lot of trade options, and we're gonna get to a point where it's gonna be, the price tag is always gonna be high, but it's gonna there's gonna be a point where the price tag gets too high for my liking. But we'll see. I don't know. I'm very
Yeah, I think so.
yeah. Like I guess who do you have your eye on the trade market for like who the Red Sox should be targeting next?
I think you made a prediction a month ago when we spoke with Jen McCaffrey, which I think a trade with St. Louis could be something that's in the cards.
I was seeing that the Red Sox were in on Wilson Contreras
I, I,
today.
I it's funny because we both made weird trade predictions that I thought neither of which had a chance. Ketel Marte being the other one, which
Yeah.
are now both very well and alive. And I would prefer Wilson Contreras to Ketel Marte simply because Ketel Marte, I think offensively he's a better player. I think he's a little bit older than Wilson Contreras. I can't. My
They're like the
internet's not good
same
enough to fact
age.
check that. But I think, and they both play positions that are not like first base and second base are both huge problems for the Red Sox.
Yeah.
But I don't think it makes any sense out to send out Rafael Devers and then bring in Ketel Marte because they're both notoriously not good teammates. Like that to me makes the whole Devers thing look absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Which it
Also, if
already in some ways does look, but
yeah. Also, trading for Ketel Marte means holding on to him until he like for I think the next like 5 years until he's 37.
mhm.
I don't like that either.
Yeah, I don't. I prefer Contreras. That's a trade that I think we could make. Listen, there's a little bit of if there's smoke, there's fire with the Tarek Skubal stuff. I don't know how realistic that is, but it's very clear to me that he is not going to be back in Detroit, not this coming year, but the year after. I don't think there's any
Yeah.
world in which they bring him back. I've seen the Red Sox, I've seen the Yankees, I've seen Toronto, I've seen Los Angeles, which would be insane if he goes to the Dodgers. Now, here's what I really think is going to come of that. If we're going to look at the Dodgers, so I bring that up not because I think we're going to get Tarek Skubal. I don't think we will.
Yeah.
There is a world in which Tyler Glasnow is moved from the Dodgers to try to make room for an elite starting pitcher, and I
I
think we would be in on Tyler Glasnow.
I've seen that rumor before. I do not want Tyler Glass now on this ball club. The
Really?
dude's only good for like half a
Yeah,
season.
yeah, yeah.
He's
It's
made of
true. It's true.
glass.
I mean, no pun intended. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
But I
No, I don't
I
want him.
can see so if the question is who do I want and what do I think we should do, I think we go in for one of these huge Peralta's available on the trade market. I mean, maybe we do try to offer some crazy ass package for a Tarek Skubal or something, but do I think the Red Sox are going to do that? No. Do I think the Red Sox would be more likely to try to bring in a Tyler Glass now? Absolutely. That's like totally the John Henry playbook. Like it's like, yeah, he's like a little shaky, but like we can give a little bit less and we don't have to get rid of a lot of guys and he's not going to command as much money, so I won't have to pay him down the line. So like let's just bring him in.
I think the
Um,
one hang up with that theory about Tyler is that he costs too much for his
yeah.
injury.
Yeah.
It's $30 million a year that we're talking about.
Mhm.
I would rather trade for Corey Seager, which also I know you think that that's a bad idea. I kind of don't think it's a bad idea at all to trade
To
for Corey.
trade for a Corey Seager?
Not a
Dude,
crazy idea.
my opinion on that has completely 180'd. I
Yeah.
I actually would love to have Corey Seager. I would rather trade for Corey Seager and move Story to second base than Ketel
Yes.
Marte.
Absolutely. I think that's it. The only
I would.
Seager, the hang up is also it's like again it's 30 million a year, but it's also we're stuck with him until he's 37, which is also not great. Also a left-handed bat, and we have just enough of those.
Hmm.
But yeah, he gets hurt a fair bit. But you like look at his like numbers every year, and it's like he plays like 120 games a season now, and he's still putting
Yeah,
up like 6 WAR. Like he's still putting up like crazy
yeah, he's
numbers.
insane.
So I'm yeah,
And
go get
and
him.
if we're gonna talk about Corey Seager, so the reason my opinion changed on it,
Mm,
if we're gonna, my hang up was the injury thing,
mhm.
right? Like, and I think Ketel Marte misses games, but not to the same frequency that Corey Seager does. If we're gonna play that card, I started thinking about it. Alex Bregman has not been a consistent lock to play 150 games the last few years. He missed what a month and a half or 2 months of our season this year, and he put up good numbers. The Bregman thing is very confusing to me because I think people are like he's a great leader, he's a great defender, he hits the ball well, he's a great swing for Fenway Park. It's not like his final numbers this year were Barry Bonds-esque. He had an 820 OPS. He was a very good player. He hit 18 home
Yeah.
runs. He missed 2 months. He made 7 or 8 errors at third base. He was a very good player. He's a good leader. But if we're looking at Corey Seager and or Alex Bregman together in the
Mhm.
aggregate, that makes up a great middle of the order. And without Alex Bregman, you're replacing a player who played about the same amount of games and had a better season.
I mean, I don't know. I think okay, so yeah, so like this past year, Bregman played 114 games, but the year before he played 145. I think that like to me
Okay.
That's a full season in my book.
But he didn't have as good of a season the year before.
No, he had a better year this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think people who are anti retaining Bregman, I'm like, you're I don't know what's happening with them. I'm like, are you concussed? Are you,
Oh, we have to retain him. That's an insane. That should very clearly be the
like
priority.
he is, yeah, valuable here. I think I mean, I know I just said like I wouldn't give Alonso 5 years, 155 million. I mean, I think my ceiling for Bregman is like 5 years, 150.
That's
Maybe,
that's about where I'm at too.
maybe like 180 just because he wants 6 years so bad. But like, I'm like, yeah, you gotta hold on to him. I think his intangibles, like the thing is like his value, a lot of his values are intangibles. And
Yeah, I think so.
that like Craig Breslow's like, if I can't calculate the intangibles, then I don't, you
Right.
know,
It doesn't count. Yeah.
right. Um, yeah, Bregman keeping him is a no brainer. For me, and I think, and Coley Mick has been kind of on this wavelength as well. The
Hmm.
Kansas City Royals are right there. They
Yeah.
have been adamant. They have said, like, in no uncertain terms, the Kansas City Royals, JJ Piccolo, which is honestly best general manager name in the sport,
Sick. Super sick.
he has said, like, in no uncertain terms, he's like, we will trade starting pitching for an outfielder.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. Like,
They have a lot of starting pitching too. They have great starting pitching.
yeah, like give me Cole
Cole
Reagans.
Reagans. Cole
Give me,
Reagans.
to me, I'm like, I want, and I'd be willing to attach prospects, but it's like, here's Jaron Duran and some like, a couple of prospects. Give me Cole Reagans and Vinny Pasquantino.
Pasquantino. Yeah.
Yeah. A great, he had a great year last year. I think he's like incredibly his again, talk about WAR being a weird stat, like his stat he's undervalued, I think, in a weird way.
Yeah.
But he drove in hit 29 home runs, drove in 100 runs, somehow only had like a 760 OPS.
Yeah. It
Like,
happens.
but I'm like, that's, you know what? Because at the end of the day, runs are the most important thing. And if you're driving in runs,
Yes.
I want you on this team. And he's
Yeah,
a good first
RBIs
baseman.
is an actual important stat.
Yeah.
RBIs to me is like weirdly not considered an important stat anymore. And like people, Trevor Story this year drove in what 90? He didn't hit 100. He drove in 97, I think.
Yeah. That's
So people are like, that's important.
that I mean, yeah, I mean, goes to show you like the problem with like last year's Sox team is like no one cracked 100 runs batted in. You go back and you
Nope.
look at every World Series winning Sox team from this century, and they got at least one. Most often they have two.
Yeah, and there's always at least one guy with 30 homers every single year. We
Yeah,
didn't have that this year. We didn't even come close to 30 homers. Story had 25. He was the
yeah,
team
yeah,
leader.
yeah. So I mean, it's like it just it's. I think they got to get creative. I think the Royals are a really good fit
Yeah.
for that. I think also honestly, you go look at the A's and like an organization that is like packed with offense and
Hmm.
they need pitching, and we have just an endless amount of starting pitching. I would go over like like there are guys who like honestly like Cutter Crawford. I would not be surprised if he's not on this roster at spring training. Um,
You would or would not be
I
surprised
would not be surprised.
if he wasn't. I agree with you. I
Patrick
agree with
Sandoval
you.
too. Like
Yeah.
the guys who I'm like, you do not. I would not. I would actually. I take it back. I would trade Peyton Tolle to get a good bat.
I would too.
I would not trade Connolly
Totally.
early. I like Connolly early a lot more.
No. Connolly early is very clearly meant to be. I think he's in my view from the things that have been said. I think he's kind of considered untouchable. I don't think they're going to get
Yeah,
rid of him.
him and Dobbins. I'm really high on. I don't imagine
Yeah, I love
Dobbins
Dobbins.
getting moved, but I'm like Tolley. I think is a stud, but
Hmm.
I'd move him. I
Yeah.
think I keep seeing trades with like fucking Tyler Milliken's tweeting about like, oh, like what, let's get uncomfortable. Like, what if we traded Connolly early and Marcelo Meyer for Ketel Marte? And I'm like, that is too uncomfortable. That's fucking bad.
That's
Um,
insanity. That's insanity.
yeah. I think this team is like, I think people are kind of panicking. I think I'm definitely stressed because I'm like, I just need news. I just need something. Like I need the Red Sox to do something. But
Yeah.
I'm not like ready to like I don't have a verdict yet on this offseason.
Here's my I'll get no, it's way too early to have a verdict. Only a handful of things have been done. I mean, Kyle, we're not getting Kyle Tucker obviously, but he's still
I
out and about.
dude,
Bregman is still out and about.
I haven't heard shit about Kyle Tucker like from any team.
Yeah, yeah, me neither.
And
I mean,
also
but
I think it's important to note, and because I've seen this from like other Red Sox like podcasts, I've seen it online as well, like the phrase like Craig moves in silence. And it's really
mhm,
true. Like
it
none of
is.
the moves that Craig Bristow's ever made have I like, other than Crochet or Bregman, have I like seen coming. Like Sonny Gray came out of nowhere. Uh,
Yeah, that was bizarre.
so like I'm like I
Here's
haven't
one
heard.
that came out of nowhere.
Hmm,
Here's one that came out of nowhere. Sorry to cut you off. How about the rumors that we're trying to bring back Kyle Teal?
dude, that would be honestly that'd be the funniest
What?
thing on the planet.
I
I
saw
would.
that this morning. I woke up and was like, "What the fuck? Are you serious?"
I I don't think that will happen because I think
No.
the White Sox are trying to definitely. I think the White Sox want to get rid of a catcher, but I don't. I think they get rid of Quero before they get rid of Teal because Teal's actually a good
Yeah.
catcher. But that would just, I mean, can you imagine just that'd be the funniest fucking thing.
I mean, if it works out, that is kind of a masterstroke. If we
Yeah.
get him back and he's productive, because then it's like you got the original big three.
Yeah.
Dude, imagine Christian Campbell gets traded with like someone else for Kyle Teal. Like,
That'd
imagine
be
like
really
that's what ends up.
yeah, I mean, Christian Campbell, that's the other interesting like piece. I think it's really funny that this roster's it's been a mess for years and it's still a
Yeah,
mess. And I just like let's clean it up, guys. Like
we need actual position players. I think so. I watch a lot of soccer. There's a concept in soccer called total football,
yeah, I watched Ted
and it works.
Lasso.
Yeah, okay, right. So it works really well. It's a Dutch concept, I think, from the 80s. And it works really well in football because football, soccer, whatever, it's a sport in which positions are pretty interchangeable. You can be a
Mhm.
striker and then you can drop back and play attacking midfielder and you can push out left and be a winger. If you're an attacking player, you're an attacking player. If you're a defensive player, you're a defensive player. That doesn't work in baseball.
Right.
There's a few guys, the Kike Hernandezes of the world are very rare. A real utility player who can actually play like 4 or 5 positions is extremely rare. And he's like the name that always comes to the top of my head because lately he's been a little bit down, but he's usually a pretty productive hitter, particularly in October. He plays outfield extremely well, all three positions. He plays second base, first base, and third base all extremely well, and he plays an okay shortstop. You're never going to lose defensive metrics compared to, he's at least a replacement level player at every position he
Don't
plays.
gaslight me. I was there in 2023. He played shit at shortstop.
Yeah, okay. So we'll take the shortstop off the list, but he's always been
Don't
decent
talk
at
about
second.
shortstop.
Fair enough. But he plays third, second, and first base at least a replacement level. And I think he plays outfield very well. I think he's a very good
Yeah.
outfielder.
Well,
So,
go ahead.
Christian Campbell, this idea that Christian Campbell is going to be in that mold, that he's going to play a little bit of second and a little bit of first and maybe corner outfield, it is not going to happen. And so I think the Red Sox total footballism, which has happened really since Heim Bloom in 2021. There's always these guys that they pick up. Nate Eaton's another one. Like, let's just plug him in here and let's plug him in here. Or what's his name? Nick Sogard. Romy Gonzalez. They're all decent enough players in their own right, but I do think you can only really rock with one of those guys in your starting nine. You need to have
Mhm.
set position players. I
Yeah.
really believe that. I don't think it's good for a roster construction to have four guys. I mean, I look at our wild card series: Eaton, Sogard. Who's the other one? There was one other. Oh, Romy Gonzalez. Like we had three guys that are
Yeah.
basically super utility players playing. That's not going to work.
Well, I
You
mean,
know,
part of that was also like having Anthony hurt, which like
that sucked, of
I do think
course.
that's like something we're forgetting is like, fingers crossed, like we're getting a full second season of Roman Anthony, and like that is gonna be a boon for this
Yeah.
lineup. But yeah, I mean, I think I agree. Like Gonzalez, Eaton, and Sogard are like great bench pieces. Like they're fantastic bench pieces.
They're awesome.
Um,
I love them.
I I think I mean, I think also like Ref Snyder's not coming back, and I think we should just make
Yeah,
peace with
close the
that.
door.
Which is like kind of a bummer, but whatever. But I think you know Campbell. I don't imagine that they would actually make him a super utility guy because then it's like it's second base, first base, and outfield, and he's shit at second base, and we've never seen him play first. I
Hmm.
feel like him being a left fielder would be interesting, but then it's like we still have too many. Like he's still not an
He's
everyday
never going to
player.
play there. He's never going to play there.
We at the end of the day, it's like we have too many players, and like yeah, like I guess I will be pissed. I don't know how you'll feel. I will actually like, despite them all being good players, I will be mad as hell if we go into spring training and I both either like but Jaron Duran and Wilyer Abreu, like one of them is like they're both still on this roster. Like we haven't traded one of them, preferably Jaron Duran.
Mm,
Like if Jaron Duran is still on this team in February and Wilyer Abreu is still on this team too, I'm gonna be pissed because like
yeah.
we we have too many. We have too many
Yeah.
outfielders, and like those guys are valuable. Like when is gonna be when's gonna be the right time to trade them? Like if not now,
Well,
when?
particularly Abreu. Yeah, I mean Abreu's a two-time Gold Glove winner, and if he hadn't gotten injured, he would have hit 30 homers. Like this is about the ceiling of his trade value, I think.
I mean I think Duran's present value is higher, and I would move him. Um,
Hmm.
and because also like you, I mean, moving Abreu means like yeah, Roman Anthony can play right field, but like Abreu is a much better right fielder in at Fenway. I feel like that
Abreu is a
matters.
fucking stud
So
right
like
fielder. He's a
yeah,
beast. Yeah.
I'd move the left fielding Duran and like have another left fielder like in Anthony, which is like or
Hmm.
Campbell or whatever. But like you got to move one of those guys. I mean, you gotta like I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what the fuck to say about Yoshida, but like we have to unclog this outfield like somehow because I think
Yeah.
if Campbell can come back and play like he did in April, I want him in the lineup as much as possible. But there's nowhere for him to go.
Yeah, and who are you going to take out?
Yeah,
Like even him playing as well as he was, Wilyer Abreu at the same time was also playing, particularly in April and May, just as good or better at the plate than Campbell. You're not going to
yeah,
take him out if he's hot like that. You're not taking Sadon out of center field.
yeah. And I mean, and Cora has said like this week he's like we're done platooning Abreu against lefties. Like he's earned at
Hmm.
bats against lefties, which it's like also like okay, he's still not great against lefties, but we'll see. And so like okay, that path for Romy or Eaton or Campbell, that door is closed. So
Yeah.
like yeah, like I think where do these guys go? Obviously we need a bench. I think it's weird for me to be like, yeah, let's put a second year guy or a rookie at DH, but like, yeah, like platoon DH between Campbell and Yoshida, like I might like that better than
Yeah.
him
Yeah,
being
it's
an
fine.
everyday outfielder. I still don't like Yoshida being our DH, but like that's where we're stuck. Like,
So here's the other thing that's interesting is there's a bat on the free agent market that can kind of fit, depending on how much money he commands, that can kind of fit that like hybrid middle infielder role and can still be a productive, and that is Bo Bichette. And I am reading more and more there was originally a report right at the beginning of the winter meetings that we were out on Bichette, and now it's come out from a bunch of these bigger insiders that that's not the case and that we are talking to his camp. And I'm sure that's because they missed out on Alonso and Schwarber and they're like, fuck, we got to do something. Bichette is going to command a lot of money. I actually don't think. I mean, he's not a horrible defender. He's not a great defender. I think he would play second base. I think he would slot in at second base nicely. I don't think his swing profile is what we're looking for. He's not really a power guy. And in my opinion, if you're going to pay somebody big bucks right now with the team as presently constructed, assuming we bring back Alex Bregman, and
mhm.
that's a part of this, I don't want another Alex Bregman in the lineup. I want a guy that's going to hit homers because
So
that's.
yeah, so I mean,
Go
but
ahead.
to that end, like Bichette's younger than he's
He
only
is. He's 27.
yeah. So like, but I think like if you Bichette or Bregman, like getting one closes the door on the other. They're not getting
Yeah.
two right-handed infielders. Um,
Hmm.
I think like I heard on the home run front for sure. I think again like I'm like home runs is the wrong stat for me for us to like have our eye on. It's RBIs. I want guys who drive in
RBIs.
runs, and Bo Bichette drove in 94 runs last year.
Yeah, he does drive in a lot of runs.
Like
Yep.
he had a dog shit 2024. And he bounced back. He had a sub 600 OPS in 2024.
Yeah, he
Like,
was terrible, but he was
and,
playing through an injury
and
too.
he bounced back this year with an 840 OPS. Like I think he'd be a great get. I think he'd probably be a little expensive. Um, but yeah, I mean, the thing about moving him to second is that like it keeps Trevor Story at short. And I think like we gotta like the pipeline. Trevor Story's pipeline to second base has to be clear.
Yeah, there's also a world in which if we don't bring back Alex Bregman, I mean, I don't know if Bo Bichette has ever played third base in his career, but there's a world in which if Marcelo's healthy, he plays shortstop.
There's
If
you mean a
Marcelo
world in
hits
which
big league
Marcelo's
pitching.
healthy, Bichette plays short.
No, if Bichette plays third base.
Oh, I mean, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I doubt
I
that'll
don't know if
go.
that's yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
and like Story can't go to third. He doesn't have the arm for it.
No,
Um,
that's never gonna happen.
but like Marcelo at third is I'm like okay with. Assuming he can play like a full season. That's the thing about Marcelo Meyer is like we're all talking about slotting him in if we don't get Bregman. I'm like, yeah, but
Hmm.
if this dude can only play 70 games this year, I'm pissed again. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, Bichette I think is a totally a possibility. I mean, probably second base would make the most sense for him. Maybe teach him first. I don't know, but
Hmm.
I really like. I think in terms of getting like a bona fide first baseman, I think Contreras is at the top of my list. I Vinny P is definitely up there for me. I think
Hmm.
uh, attaching a haul to get Tyler Soderstrom from Oakland or Sacramento would be
Yeah.
sick. That dude's 24 and um
Where
like I
does
think
Eugenio Suarez fall on your list?
I he's off of it. He falls off the list.
Interesting. Yeah.
Like the dude
I
can
don't
do
really I agree, but
he can do one thing and he's really good at that one thing, but
hmm
like we need guys who are good at more than one thing right now. Like we do, and
hmm
for at least for the price that he's gonna command. Um, and yeah, I just like I again like it's kind of the same thing as Pete Alonso. So I'm like that dude can just hit homers, and I kind of need
Yeah.
more from him. Although he did lead
Yeah.
the league in doubles, but whatever. Yeah, it's gonna take a lot of moving things around. I honestly, you could see.
Eugenio Suarez is a secondary bat.
Yeah, I would consider floating Romy Gonzalez to teams.
Yeah, totally.
I
He hit
to
300 this year.
Yeah, um, but there's got to be some unclogging that needs to happen, and again, the Royals are a team that's sitting right there.
Yeah.
Um, I do also, I mean, kind of moving to pitching real quick, like obviously, like Sonny Gray, I think is a great ad. I love that for him.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
honestly the Oviedo trade
Hmm.
I still like. I like what like the possibilities are with him. Neither of those guys are a number two.
Yeah.
And I don't. Uh, I see no reason that we can't go get Freddie Peralta. Even if we don't extend him, which I mean, like that would be stupid. But like, even if it was like we're just all in on this year, we have this guy. It's like 1 year, $8 million for Freddie Peralta. Like that makes all the sense in the world to me. I think if
Hmm.
adding him, even like going to the Royals and adding Cole Reagans, like I think either of those guys, our rotation is great now. I mean, it will be like our pitching staff is gonna be just filthy.
Yeah, it's that's the secret weapon that we have, and that's essentially what got us to the playoffs this year. Was when Giolito was red hot.
Mm-hmm.
It was looking every week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Crochet, Giolito, Bayo is a win-win-win. Pretty much every week, from
Yeah,
early July, mid-June to like the end of September. And so the way that we mitigate a crisis this offseason, even if all we do offensively is bring back Alex Bregman, which, by the way, I brought up the comparison Bregman to Corey Seager. The only reason I brought that up is because I'm so pro bringing back Alex Bregman that I was like, why do I not want to bring in Corey Seager? They're so similar. Obviously, one is left-handed, one is right-handed, and they play
mm-hmm.
different positions. But Bregman coming back is obviously important. That's very, very important. If that's all we do offensively, And if that's all we do, period, for the rest of the offseason, I would give us a D for this offseason. That's a
Mhm.
terrible offseason.
Yeah.
If we bring back Alex Bregman and we pick up a Cole Reagans, we pick up a Freddie Peralta, we sign a Ranger Suarez, like we get another really, really good starting pitcher, that brings us up to a B plus automatically because that's a fucking four-headed monster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, a
I
rotation
don't
that's
know if we're gonna do it.
yeah. I think I mean Craig is so like obviously he's like so into pitching. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like um I kind of expect him to deliver more on pitching than on offense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. At this point there are just like so many different possibilities and I need them to pick one and commit. And I think this front office is like way too good at over rationalizing things and
Mm-hmm.
overthinking things, and it bites them in the ass at every possible turn. Um, I think they need to just like they stand around and they're like, oh man, like who wants to push the button to make the move happen? I don't know. Should I push it? Should you push it? I don't know if I want to push it. Someone needs to be in the room and just be like beep. It's like just hit the
Yeah.
button. Like it's I don't know. It's they need to be a little more aggressive. By the way, I refreshed Twitter just now because I was like maybe Passon has
Sure.
tweeted something. Instead, what I got is this video of Phillies catcher Garrett Stubbs taking a shot of his wife's breast milk.
Nice. All right, dude. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Real quick,
Hey, real quick. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna move on to Edwin Diaz and the Mets.
That's literally where I was going. So
Okay,
I was
yeah, let's talk about that.
just gonna say, if I think it's always important, biggest loser of the winter meetings has got to be the New York Mets. What the hell is going on with
I
the New York Mets, dude? That is seriously fucked. They
I'm gonna
lost their two biggest star names.
I think you got to qualify that a little different. I think the biggest loser are Mets fans. I
Okay.
think the Mets are okay with this.
Yes.
I think David Stearns, like, we know David Stearns didn't want Pete Alonso around. He didn't want him last year either.
No,
Um,
he didn't want him. Yeah.
I feel so bad for Mets fans. And that fan base can't catch a fucking break. It's really
Yeah.
crazy. I, it's just weird because, like, I, I was under the impression that when Steve Cohen took control of that team, it was like this team was going to operate differently. It wasn't going to be cheap like the Mets ownership before.
Mhm.
I don't know if they're being cheap or they're just being kind of dumb, but
Yeah, I think it's more the latter. I don't think they're cheap because they splashed 700 million for Juan Soto, but like,
right. But then to that point, like it's like okay, what's the plan here? Because you have an $800 million man on this roster for the next 14 years. Um, you burned one of them. Are you going to burn another one? Like, you know,
yeah, it's interesting because the bigger question mark, I think Pete Alonso, like you said, there was some issue there. Something was going on. I mean, he was the one who said, was it him who said like literally right after the final game, he's like, "Yeah, I'm opting out." Like he was
yeah,
very clearly done with the Mets.
yeah,
Edwin Diaz is interesting because Edwin Diaz is obviously really, really good.
yeah.
But there have been moments in his career where he's been very, very shaky, like very unreliable. And I know that kind of comes with the territory, but like Chapman's the shakiest part of Chapman's career
Hmm.
has not been as bad as the shakiest part of Diaz's career. The shakiest part of Diaz's career has been like giving up walk-offs literally like multiple games in a row.
Yeah.
And I wonder if there's just sort of he's getting older. He's coming. I mean, that's a lot of money. He's getting paid a lot of money. It's what
Yeah.
67, right?
69 million.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a $23 million a year deal. I mean, honestly, like that Robert Suarez going to the Braves today. Um
Hmm.
a lot of these like reliever deals that we've seen this offseason, I mean, that Aroldis I mean, I fuck Aroldis Chapman, but that contract looks so good in comparison because it's 1 year, 13 million with a vesting option. Like
Yeah,
that's a steal. Um
hmm
yeah, I mean, with the Dodgers, I'm like, like, okay, I guess you guys like. I'm like, yeah, actually, you guys didn't need him. Like, you have Tanner Scott, like who sucked last year, but like, I
Yeah,
think
Henry Scott sucks.
that's a one off. It's not like it feels really kind of superfluous for them to get Edwin Diaz, but at this point, I'm like, okay, it's the Dodgers are gonna dodge, you know.
They were
Um,
gonna.
yeah. So, I think for that piece too, like him going to the Dodgers makes it extra bitter for the Mets. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I'd be like real curious to be like just to understand like you know what's the vision there. Because you got Marcus Simeon now, you got rid of Nimmo, got rid of Alonso, got rid of like what? How long is Jeff McNeil going to be there for? You know,
He might be
um,
gone this offseason. There's a chance he gets
right?
he gets sent away this offseason. What do you make of the reports about him and Lindor
Not getting
that they didn't
along.
like? Yeah,
I
because I think Lindor. It's apparently there's like a bunch of guys who had issues with Lindor.
I think like that article was like a little overblown. I think the piece about like
Sure.
Lindor and Soto was stupid. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, like Soto is a family man and Lindor likes, you know, being social or whatever and likes fashion. You know, it's like, okay, cool. People are different. Um,
Hmm.
I with the Jeff McNeil thing, I've always thought of Jeff McNeil as being a fucking wuss. So
Hmm.
I'm like Lindor is probably right. But I mean
Yeah.
to that point, like Lindor I don't understand. Maybe I'm missing something, but the slandering of Francisco Lindor, and this is like not the first time that this has happened for him. I'm confused by because he generally speaking like seems like an up and up person.
Hmm.
He is a good leader. I think he really like. I mean, I think at first with the Mets it got rocky, but he really stepped up into a leadership role in that organization. Um, and also, I mean, like I don't know. I think when I hear about like Jeff McNeil and Lindor not getting along, it's like hearing that like a guppy is picking a fight with a shark. Like
Yeah.
Jeff, you're not on his level.
Right.
Like shut up. like
Hmm.
um
I just thought it was interesting. I was like, oh, okay. Like, there's obviously issues in the Mets clubhouse because you don't collapse like that for like 2.5 months and like there's no issue. But I don't know. I'm always interested when like dirty laundry gets aired in public. I'm like, huh, that's kind of weird.
yeah, I mean, part of me thinks that that's just like the manager not doing his like Carlos Mendoza not doing his job
Totally.
super well.
Yeah, totally.
um Not keeping the guys in check. Like I mean, you like very rarely, I mean, Devers obviously being the exception kind of but almost the exception that proves the rule. Like you don't hear about stuff in the Red Sox clubhouse going poorly or really going on at all. I mean,
Hmm.
Cora keeps things pretty, I think, quiet, but also
Yeah.
like is pretty communicative with his guys and
Which
they're
also,
communicative with
like,
each
you can
other.
give credit where credit is due. Devers was a problem, and they moved him. I don't think they moved him in the right way, but they moved him. I don't think
Yeah.
the hindsight of that trade it looks good to get him out of the clubhouse. Doesn't look good in terms of the return, but
No, it was something we should have done this now. Like
yes,
and not then, not a month before the trade deadline. Like, holy shit. Um,
yeah.
yeah. I also need Jeff to just, or I mean, not Jeff. I need Craig to stop talking. Like,
I
we talked about
know.
this a little
Shut
bit with
up.
Jen, and I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up. Like,
Yeah, like I don't care. We're going to get two big bats and a starting pitcher, and then it's like, okay, maybe Sonny Gray is like the starting pitcher we're going to get. It's like, dude, why are you fucking hyping this up like we're about to sign Schwarber and Alonso? Like that's
yeah.
just it's
Like,
so.
you're familiar with Charlie Brown, right? You've watched Charlie Brown
Yeah, yeah, of
specials. Yeah,
course.
yeah. I feel like it's like, I feel like Lucy, or I feel like Charlie Brown,
Yeah,
and he's fucking Lucy with that football.
yeah,
And he's like, oh, it's gonna be different this time. You can kick it. Like, I promise, it's gonna be different this time. And every time I'm on my fucking ass.
yeah. The talking never really ends well.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. So
Hmm.
here's where we're at. Let's say we bring back Alex Bregman.
Okay.
Give me the two moves that you would make aside from because I really don't think bringing back Bregman is enough.
No, it's
So
not. Yeah.
what are the two moves you make besides that? I'll give you mine. What and do this. Give me the two moves that you would make, and give me the two moves that you think the team will make. They can be the same if you want.
I mean, yeah, I think I'm gonna try and make them this. I mean, actually, no, I can walk and chew gum. I would signing Bregman, I would then hang on, I need to pull up the team's roster real quick. um, because I need to look at who I'm dumping. Uh, okay. So I would, yeah, okay. I would probably send, uh, I'd send Jaron Duran and anyone other than Peyton Tolley and um, uh, Connolly Early to the Brewers to get Freddie Peralta. Uh, and then I would send uh, Peyton Tolley and Luis Perales to Sacramento to get Tyler Soderstrom.
Wow.
That's what I would do. I think what the Sox will do is get they'll probably get Wilson Contreras, and I think they get Wilson Contreras with like maybe Cole Reagans.
Okay. I would, if we had Bregman, I should have had my own answer to this before I asked it. Would, I would honestly make the trade for Wilson Contreras. I would probably St. Louis. Yeah, I could see like a Peyton Tolley slash outfield, one of our outfielders packages for someone like that, plus a really good prospect. Fuck it, trade James Bello. Might as well Bayo. Might as well get rid of him because
Yeah.
might as well get rid of all the Devers guys. And then I would probably. I don't know why, but I keep feeling like I really want Ranger Suarez, and I know that that doesn't make sense, but maybe I would sign Ranger Suarez just because you don't have to give up any. Like, I want the fucking Red Sox to
Yeah.
spend money.
Well, the thing is, like,
Like
I don't think the Red Sox want to spend money.
I know, but that's why I'm like, dude, you guys just cleared 250 million off your books. Spend the fucking money. So
Yeah.
sign Ranger Suarez to like a 4 year, 20
Mhm.
million a year kind of thing. Probably a little bit of an overpay, but he's a very capable starting pitcher. I've always liked his stuff. What I think they will do, I think they will bring back Bregman. I actually do think there's a chance that they sign Bo Bichette, which doesn't make a ton of sense, all things considered, all
Mhm.
combined. And then I think they trade for one more starting pitcher. I don't think they're going to get Cole Reagans. I actually don't think they have the tact to pull that off. I think they would go for. Ooh. Yeah, honestly, dude, I think Freddie Peralta. I think there's a
Mhm.
real world in which we pull that off, and I think they sign Bo Bichette. Um, I wouldn't mind Freddie Peralta. I don't know, Bo Bichette, like he is really good, but there's something. I don't know, maybe it's because he had that one really bad year, and I know he was playing through an injury, but it's like a little bit of a red flag to me. I'm like, eh.
I don't know why in my head I like associate him with Jose Altuve in a weird way. Maybe I think just
Yeah,
oh, he's
huh.
short.
I wonder.
Is Boba Fett short?
I don't think so.
No, he's my height. Um, I don't know. Something about him gives me Altuve vibes. Maybe that's why. Um,
Yeah. But that's I could see that happening. I also do see I don't think either of us really want it, but I do see a trade for Ketel Marte and then a
yeah,
Ranger Suarez signing. I could very
yeah.
realistically see that.
I just think like the Ketel Marte thing has been like so talked about, um, that I almost like I'm like I don't think it's real anymore.
Yeah, at the beginning I did, but
Yeah.
it doesn't. But I could see
Mhm.
some weird ass like I don't really know what the Diamondbacks have up their sleeve. I don't really know.
Yeah.
They're a weird team because they should be really good and they kind of pulled it together at the end of the year but didn't quite have enough. I don't know.
Also, who would you like? Uh, if you like woke up tomorrow and saw the Red Sox made a trade,
mm,
who would be the most surprising player that we traded in your
ooh.
mind?
Carlos Narvaez.
Mm,
Because the Kyle Teal stuff and the JT
mm.
Realmuto links, I'm wondering if they're like, this guy's really good. Let's get something for him. Like,
I,
I wonder if there's like a quick, we're going to trade him and quickly sign JT Realmuto and go back to Connor Wong as the starter.
oh
I don't know.
God.
I do not want that at all. I don't want that at all. Let me just be very clear.
Yeah.
But I was wondering about the catcher thing. Like, why are we linked to so many catchers? That's so strange. Like Wilson Contreras could moonlight as a catcher still.
I
It's
mean,
weird.
I assume it would be to like dump Wong. Um,
Yeah, I don't know.
I
That would
would
be a
be
surprise.
to me like if I woke up one day, I looked at my phone and I saw the Red Sox had traded Trevor Story, I might like
Yeah, that'd be
shit a
bizarre.
brick. I'd be like, I'm shocked because I'd be like, how did you find somebody to
Yeah,
take?
crazy. Also,
Um,
let me
that would
say
shock me.
I would be stunned if Connolly Early gets traded, and that's someone that could actually get traded. But I would be stunned.
Yeah,
Jeez. Thank
I
you. Coffee.
ah,
1 second. I am.
It's really hot.
Yep. Thank you. My wife brought me a coffee. Sorry, go on.
I would also, I think another like trying just like having fun now. I'm like, can you imagine like if tomorrow the Red Sox were like, hey, we just signed Kyle Tucker to an 8-year deal, I'd I know I think I'd still be mad. I'd be like, dude,
It just wouldn't make any sense. That wouldn't make any fucking
yeah.
sense. Like what? That's
I'm
the
like
same thing that we already have five of. Like
I'm
that
like,
doesn't
oh
make
good,
sense.
another left-handed outfielder. Like,
There is a world, and we should prepare ourselves, in which the Red Sox sign like Eugenio Suarez and say that's it. The book's closed. There is a world in which that happens, and we are sold on that being a success.
yeah, I think in that case our ceiling becomes like the third wild card spot.
Yeah. There is a very realistic possibility that like that is which listen, I know again that's similar to the Marte thing. I think neither of us really he's not a
Mhm.
good defender. He's a home run hitter, he's a strikeout guy. Does his swing play at Fenway? Totally. Like 100%. But he's a secondary bat, and there I have been thinking there is a world in which we wake up and like, okay, that's all right, cool, and then that's it.
I think Ketel Marte is I think if like say we keep Bregman, I think Bregman's a secondary bat to Ketel Marte, honestly.
No, I'm saying Eugenio Suarez is a secondary bat.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
He's
even
a
that
home
I
run or
would
nothing.
like. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'm trying to. I think most moves at this point. I think the ceiling for the Red Sox is the wild card.
Mm-hmm.
It's maybe the number one wild card seed is the ceiling. I think the division is pretty much out of play right now because of the Blue Jays.
Yeah, I think so.
I can't imagine like there are very few moves. I mean, maybe like I think maybe if we added, I think if we added Ketel Marte and Freddie Peralta, I'd be like, okay, maybe. In addition to Bregman, I'd be like,
Yeah.
maybe. But like, I think other than like acquiring Paul Skeens or Tariq Skubal, I'm like, yeah, there's no fucking way,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is not gonna it's
which is
not gonna
not gonna
happen.
happen. Um, yeah. Anyway,
Well, I think, you know, hopefully something will happen soon. I mean, I was hoping winter meetings there would be some noise for
yeah,
us. I definitely think the Pete Alonso stuff is very strange. I mean, I think we didn't even really talk about Schwarber, but I'm
uh,
not surprised.
yeah.
You know,
The fact that we didn't make an offer at all that surprises me a little bit.
yeah, but
But
I knew they might have just been like, "There's no chance." Like, you know, I'm not. I'm fine with
yeah,
that.
well, also
He's a
based
great Billy.
yeah, but based on like their reticence with Alonso and knowing that he'd be a DH eventually, I can see them being like, well, Schwarber's only a DH now. Like our ceiling for crazy overpay is even lower than it is with Alonso. So like we're just not even gonna bother. And I mean like
Yeah,
you're competing with Dave Dombrowski, like that dude doesn't care about money.
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It's very true. So, anyway, here's my final question because I got to
Hmm.
get out of here soon.
Yeah.
The in-laws, the Wi-Fi router here. Who is, this is a weird trivia question that I got flumped on.
Hmm.
Who is the Red Sox all-time biggest free agent contract? Not extension.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Not, so Crochet, Sale.
Devers doesn't count. Um,
This is a weird one.
feel like it's a contract that like went poorly. I can I give you like two answers?
Yes, you may.
Okay, it's either Manny or it's Carl Crawford. Did you freeze?
Manny, no. Carl.
No.
Just making sure. I'm making sure this hint isn't incorrect before I give it to you.
Okay. So it's neither
I
of those
believe
guys?
Carl Crawford was teammates with this person.
Oh, was it Adrian Gonzalez?
No.
Free agent.
Yeah, I'm correct. Carl Crawford was teammates with this person.
And it wasn't Adrian Gonzalez?
No. No, not on the. I'm sorry, not on the Red Sox.
What?
They were teammates together, not on the Red Sox.
So they were teammates. Were they teammates on the Rays then, or was it later when in LA?
No, you tell me.
Fuck.
You tell me.
Oh my god, so stupid. David Price.
Yes, David Price. Bro, I couldn't believe that. $217 million. That's a big ass contract.
It's literally the Dylan Cease deal. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy though? I was like, wow, that's our biggest free, because Devers was an extension, Crochet was an extension, Sale was an extension. So it's just interesting. So yeah. Fun factoid. We still haven't splashed like the serious cash on a pure free agent yet.
Yeah, I just don't think that's like John Henry's MO anymore.
Nah, it hasn't been really at all. I mean, I think, we've had success with trades more than anything. Well, good stuff. We shall check in soon. Hopefully we'll get some news. Stay updated with us in all of your places. Obviously this offseason we're doing this as we can. Season 2 is going to be really, really cool. So we're really excited.
Yeah. All right, guys. We will talk to y'all later.
Later.